We live. Welcome back, all you beautiful people, to that We Got Action podcast, episode 51, coming at y'all fresh off the 1 week break. We figured after grinding for a year, we kind of deserved it. Plus, Danny decided to desert us and go on a cruise. Nah, just kidding. He was on a cruise though, but he didn't desert us. Yeah, we just took a little bit of a break. Basically, we thought we kind of earned it after working pretty damn hard for last year. And thank you guys, every single one of you that's still following us and commenting and subscribing and asking questions and liking and all that stuff. But today we're gonna do some NBA and some MLB. I've got a fun skit. Not skit, but I guess segment. Yeah, there we go. A fun segment at the end of the MLB for one of the hottest players in baseball right now. But we're gonna do some NBA recaps. The Game 7 just finished up last night, right?
Yep.
What? Yep. Damn, that Memorial Day threw me off so hard that it's actually Tuesday already.
Yeah.
But
Can't relate.
the Game 7 finished up, and then we've got some coaching hiring going on. We'll talk about what's up next for the Celtics because they've got some big decisions to make in the offseason. The Warriors had some movement in the front office. And then I had posed a fun question that I thought would be kind of interesting about the draft coming up in June. But first off, let's just do a quick finals preview. So we finally know. I mean, the freaking Nuggets ain't played a game in what's going to be, I think, 2 weeks almost.
Yeah,
they last played on the 22nd, and they'll play on Thursday. Yep. So yeah, about 10, 11 days. But either way, Nuggets Heat. First off rip. Who you got?
Nuggets.
I don't know. See, that's my thing. See,
but that's what everyone's been doing to the Heat this whole run.
That's my thing. Everybody keep doing that.
I was gonna let y'all go, and then I was gonna bring it back to when we were talking about the Bucks Heat series, and we were like,
"Yeah, I'm going Miami, Joe."
I picked the Bucks as the favorite out the East, and you guys were like, "Well, that's a cop out. Like that's easy."
Now here we are. Celtics.
Now here we are.
Which the Celtics disappointed me. The entire playoffs, they disappointed me.
Yeah. Even in winning those 3 games, they weren't. There was a lot of the first 2 were convincing enough. The third game was.
See, I don't even think they was convincing. I literally think Miami was trying to get them those 2 because
I saw some funny memes that was like Jimmy wanted this to go to a Game 7 just so he could have the hardest postseason run of all time.
Yeah, like, and then also too, when I think they lost Game 5, he was already thinking he like win Game 6. That's what he was thinking about. I mean, Game 4, he like win Game 6. I was like,
yeah,
all right, Jimmy thinking about some other stuff. But yeah, I gotta go Miami though.
You could go Miami over Denver?
I don't want to, but I want to change the narrative. Yeah, but I have to. I have to change the narrative. Okay.
If Bam continues playing like this on the offensive,
Bam is gonna look.
That's the key.
Bam's gonna look worse than DA looked.
It's so. I mean, he matched up well in the regular season, but that's because it wasn't the same.
I don't want to hear regular season.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. It's a whole different. It's a whole different game.
Yeah, Jokic
he ain't had a good game in a minute in this postseason.
Well, he was good in the first couple games against Boston, and then
he fell off the face of the earth.
I was going to say he wasn't good the back 5 though.
Yeah, that's not good when you step in and playing probably the best player in the league.
He was missing easy bunnies. He was settling on not just going hard to the rim.
Not only did he take more mid-ranges than I've ever seen him take in these last few games, but anytime he got close to the rim, bro,
he felt like allergic.
It felt like he had like Prime Roy Hibbert and like Manute Bol in front of him. The dude could not go up strong. He was so scared.
And then the start of Game 7, my man's had brick hands, bro. Jimmy was finding him all inside, just fumbling the bag everywhere.
Yeah.
No, that's the key. That's the key to this being a good series is if Bam plays well, this is a good series.
Well,
if Bam don't play well, this is going to be a very quick series. Okay.
Caleb Martin is also a big piece.
Yeah.
If he plays like he just played, I mean,
the last couple games.
Games.
Well, yeah, I mean he's been playing well, but
he hasn't put up below 15 or 16 for a bench guy.
Yeah. Wow, bench guy is now. He's playing starters
off the bench, but starters minutes. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how they incorporate.
And then Tyler Hero's coming back
because that's the one to me that's like.
I mean, I think he'll take minutes from Strus and Vincent. No, Vincent's too good defensively though.
No, he taking a minute
movie.
for Duncan Robinson real quick. I ain't even lying.
I don't know, man.
Duncan didn't play too much.
And Duncan's been outplaying Strus, I think, given the limited play time.
I agree. You will see probably no Highsmith at all.
No Highsmith, yeah.
He gives them a tiny bit. They didn't even.
Size, it was funny too when Bam got into foul trouble early. They didn't go to Zeller or Kevin Love.
Yeah, Kevin Love
played basically a forward and 4 guards.
Kevin Love didn't play the last couple of games, did he? At all?
No, he didn't.
No, because he was getting abused. To be honest, that was the only thing. He was rebounding well, but defensively he couldn't stick with nobody.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like this is that series where he has to step up. I just feel like right now the reason I'm going with the Heat, but I really want to go with the Nuggets, is just because the Nuggets got this type of the 2 positions that the Heat lack at to me is point guard and inside. Yeah, and a center. And you probably going against the best duo of this playoff and Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. I don't think Gabe Vincent can stick with. I don't know how they're gonna do this. If you want to put Jimmy on there, but I feel like Aaron Gordon gonna abuse one of them. But I'm changing the narrative, and it's gonna switch around game 3 when Tyler Hero comes back. So, but yeah, I just think that's a lot to deal with for Miami though right now.
I'm taking Denver. I think the weapons is kind of scary. If you think about the way Aaron Gordon's played this postseason, and you think about the way KCP has shot the ball this postseason, Bruce Brown off the bench on both sides of the ball, Jamal Murray's finally firing on all cylinders. And he was even sick against the Lakers.
We didn't even talk about KCP though.
KCP, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, 3-point shooting. Like he's knocking down shots left and right. At home, on the road. And then obviously you've got Jokic and MPJ, and I don't think MPJ's played that great. No. He's been big on the boards.
He was good in the first round.
He was,
but
he was good at home though. He struggles shooting the ball.
But yeah, against the Lakers, I don't think did he even have a solid game? I think he was 10, 11, 12.
But like I said, I think the problem was that the offense in that series had to move more through Jokic and Murray.
Yeah.
There was a lot less catch and shoot.
He was his rhythm was just off that series, to be honest.
They matched his length pretty well because normally he's bigger than most guys at his position.
The only way I can see Miami taking this from Denver is I think Tim Ledger earlier. The good thing that works in Miami's favor this postseason is that they're playing efficient basketball. With them playing efficient basketball, if they can limit turnovers, I'll go to Jimmy buckets down the stretch in any of these close games, and I would rather win with that. That's the only way I can see. Yeah, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler down the stretch.
He was the closer that last game.
Yeah, but the way those two are playing down the stretch for Miami, they are closing games better than any team so far in the playoffs. And that's what I'm looking for. That's the only way Miami stays into this.
I think it's a big thing is Miami's defense is what I think a lot of people might be missing at this point in time. I think it's their defenses, they're really tough. And they're gonna definitely stifle Denver right away.
Everyone's been harping on Boston for their turnovers, but let's not act like Miami's not forcing a lot of these.
Exactly.
There's been a lot of pickpocketing, a lot of guys turn the corner and just poke the ball out from behind. They're
active. Jaylen Brown left.
Because all day,
he keep going,
every day.
Force him to dribble off his leg.
So speaking of the Celtics
and Jaylen Brown mainly,
let's finish. Do we got? So you said Nuggets.
I'm gonna go
5. Watch, he going 5.
I was thinking 5, but knowing Miami, they're gonna win at least one that doesn't make sense.
So there's one.
No, they'll win one at home and one random. That's their. We'll get Denver in 6.
Isaac,
Miami at 7.
Oh my God, that'd be incredible. I'm gonna go Denver at 5.
Yeah,
I think I've done too much hating on the Nuggets.
See, I'm on V side, right? So they're gonna lose one of these games. They ain't played in 10 days, okay? The next game gonna come when they get this random dub. And then I feel like it's gonna be like a back-to-back or something. It's gonna be like a 3-2 going. And then Miami still one more and we get to game 7, baby. And Denver all shook. That's what I'm going on.
They're not gonna. That's the thing I feel like is I don't think that they get shook. Just when your superstar is the way Jokic is, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't operate off of emotions.
I need to put them in some uncharted territory.
I don't know.
See,
Marquise
game
Morris
7.
Disagree.
Well, okay. Anyone would react.
That's another thing. This is a rivalry game, people.
Yeah.
Remember last time we was seeing these teams, it was Jimmy Butler yelling at Jokic, hey, like, meet me in the back, bro. Like, I'm going Miami.
That's also bad for Miami, though. You got to stay as level-headed as possible. You can't have Jimmy getting kicked out, though.
He'll be all right.
I'm just saying. I'm just pointing.
He might tread the waters. He all right. He gonna lead him to the dub.
So,
I got hit me buckets in 7.
Back to the Celtics. They do fall short of history. That was only the 4th team ever to force a Game 7 after being down 3-0. And they were the only team to have that Game 7 at home. The other 3 were on the road. But again, like we were saying a little bit earlier, it was fairly unconvincing for them. If they would have made the finals, that would have been,
I think, it would have been
2 losses to a pretty lackluster Hawks team. The Sixers should have won in 6 and blew Game 7. I mean, Miami handled them, honestly.
A box out away from winning it in 6.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do we feel like? I mean, Jaylen Brown's on the table to possibly move. I mean, Joe Mazzulla didn't look like the greatest coach.
I think that's the issue to me.
Okay.
Why this because I mean, I've been hearing a lot of chirping, a lot of analysts all going, hey, let's just break them up, basically. I don't think you break them up. Like Tatum and Brown, you don't break that up. I think they need to re-sign Brown. You got everybody else on the roster. The good thing that works in everybody's favor, you might not want to go through this over and over, but Tatum and Brown only 25 years old. And the amount of they got about like 5 Eastern Conference final experiences. Like they making deep runs every time they touch in the playoff. Right. I just feel like they're either a coach away, a piece away. I think they need to move some pieces around a little bit.
They should rehire
okay.
Ime Udoka. That's what they should have never. They should have never got rid of him.
They had that coach.
Apparently, and they were dynamite.
Yeah, and apparently there was reports too that they were Boston players still upset that they let him go.
Yeah.
Like now, and then when he got hired by the Rockets, it kind of rubbed some guys the wrong way, thinking like we let this guy go for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only way I can see them bouncing back, they got to let Joe Mazzulla go. He never had the locker room to begin with, and it showed in the playoffs to me. His stars were getting a little frustrated. He couldn't really rally a locker room. I think they rallied themselves. In that
there was also a lot of times that he doesn't call a timeout to get a play set. I feel like there's a lot of times that he doesn't call a play even. It's more or less there was early in the Sixers series they were doing a segment on it. They had interviewed Marcus Smart, and he was saying that a lot of times it's like they don't have a set play or a set. It's just like you have at what time I don't know. It was strange. I'd have to go back and find exactly what he said.
But I think I know exactly what you're talking about, because if you watch,
it was more or less just go with the flow of the game, not actually run.
And that's how they played that series against Miami. It was just go with the flow. Like everything for them was give the ball to Tatum and Brown. Let's run a pick and roll.
Yeah.
Like it was no setting any of them up. Like it wasn't like we bring them off like Phoenix, for example, runs a down screen into like a handoff for Book. Book could come off the down screen, let it fly, or he can get downhill and make a play for him and DA. Or something like that. Like it's helping him get downhill rather than continually play with the ball in their hands over and over. I got to move him out the ball.
Yeah.
Joe Mazzulla don't do that. I think the best person they got for the coaching candidate, because I don't know if they could poach Ime Udoka. Highly doubt it.
Well, he just signed with the Rockets.
Yeah, he highly doubt it. So I think they better go ahead and go get Monty. At least somebody that's like a little
fit.
Like a little bit of inspirational, can bring your locker room in, but these are guys who are locked into what you're saying, and they're looking for somebody.
And he's also gone to the finals. He's also made
gone to the finals,
a couple deep runs.
Deep runs, got teams playing.
Handled
defense.
Superstars.
Exactly. So, and
that's
also
a
he
good,
gets
that's
two
a good point. That's a really good point.
But to get 2 guys, he has in terms they play with the ball in their hands too much. He knows how to get them down, get them in certain spots and what they need to do. I mean,
so you're saying re-sign.
Brown.
Re-sign Jaylen Brown and go get Monty Williams. Which I really like the Monty Williams idea, actually.
Yeah, I think that's
I'm personally indifferent on JB. because I think, again, the injury in game one obviously made him. You could see the difference because he was playing good ball. Or well, I should say
he wasn't consistent.
He wasn't consistently playing good, but he was better than after that elbow injury.
Yeah, but he was having more good games than bad.
Yes, correct. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
but I agree. I think this is a couple seasons in a row now where you've been let down. I think when you see a guy like Tatum, obviously not at 100%, you've got to step up your game. And
I mean, Derek White did.
He was impressive.
But he was impressive, but
and
I think
he still was. He only shot like 5 for 18, but you could tell the difference between Derek White and some of the other guys on the court.
Yeah,
being aggressive, attacking. I don't know.
Like with me, I understood the JB thing. So to me, the thing for JB was this, in which I think we was talking about it before we had one of our break.
Yeah,
it's like, should we give the playmaking keys to Brown? No, that's exactly why. The reason why is because you making Jaylen Brown down the stretch. These are guys who can make tough shots, make tough buckets.
Mm-hmm.
These ain't guys who are playmakers, okay? Like Tatum has developed his game into a playmaker, but he doesn't have enough chances with Jaylen Brown to move without the basketball, or Marcus Smart, or any of them, because they all watching them dribble with the ball.
Right.
I really think you don't break that up I just think they too young right now to break that up. Let alone every time they touch the playoffs, they keep going deep into the playoffs. They just like Denver. We couldn't get Denver over the hump. Look what Denver at now. They finally got over the hump.
Right.
I think that's the same thing with Boston. You ran into a really tough Golden State squad in the finals. You ran into a team that has proven to you they're going to give you a fight no matter what, and also expose Jaylen Brown for not being a playmaker.
Right, and then before that, when they were younger, they had LeBron to go through.
So that's just rough in itself. I just think they're going to get over the hump. It's their East to lose right at this point.
I agree. I agree with you. Do you think any moves? What do you?
I mean, just to play devil's advocate, I think it would make the most sense to keep the squad together. I think you're looking at a team that, in terms of the top to bottom roster, I don't think there's many rosters better.
Yeah, they definitely made great moves.
Like especially you look at some of the guys that they can bring off the bench. Guys like Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon.
Gallinari back next season.
Yeah, we'll see how he's going to be doing. But
he's not a shooter though. He spaces the floor.
So I mean, they have a great roster. There's been a lot of talk about Dame, which depending on the package,
I like Dame to Miami.
I mean, I just don't see I think the package that you can obviously,
or LA.
If you're Boston, right, you can offer the best package because you're Jaylen Brown.
You have the most more pieces.
Yeah, it's Jaylen Brown. You don't have to you don't have to throw in half your squad because you've already got someone that they can.
But then I feel like that's when they're gonna lack another spot. I feel like they have a lot of great depth at the guard position, not the wing position.
And I would see them then kind of even maybe packaging like JB and like a Brogdon for maybe to get Dame in a wing, something like that. But that's the only only player who I think makes sense for Boston and is also semi-realistic. Because we talk about the other main notable players that are available. Pascal, there's no chance Toronto trades him to Boston.
Nope.
Unless they're getting JB in return. And then I don't think Boston would want that
with Tatum and Siakam, though.
I don't think Boston would want to do that regardless. Right.
Nope.
A guy like OG would slot in well.
Right.
But again, what is Toronto to trade to a division rival, not even just a conference rival, division rival? What are they going to ask for? Right.
Everything,
So, and we've already seen that their asking price has been incredibly high. They were asking for 3 first-round picks at the deadline.
Yeah.
We already know they're going to have a high asking price. So, Dame's just the only player I can think of off the top of my head that makes sense and makes them truly keeps them as contenders.
Without giving up.
Yeah.
You don't have to give up a whole ass bag.
Yeah, because you're giving up such a good player in JB.
Yeah.
There's players that fit in certain styles, but I just think it's the only one that really makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
I do like the fit in
I think
Miami.
too. So I'm gonna just make one more point before we go on to talk about the Sixers here. I think that there definitely needs to be a slight change, in my opinion, in the way that they play offense. which again could be Missoula. I just think
That's
that
what I think it is,
there's too much just drive and kick,
Mhm.
drive and kick. It
It's not even like good
really
drive.
easy to read, especially for a defense as good as Miami was.
Mhm.
And I think when your shot's not falling, you don't play defense, and then you're driving kick. Like, what do you do? Like, I just feel like there's too much. It was too much like
Well,
it felt like analytical basketball. Like
Yeah.
it felt like they were still
It
trying
felt
to
like
play
that
regular
Rockets
season
team.
basketball.
Yeah.
Drive, kick, drive, kick,
It's
drive, kick. And then
Yeah.
again, when you've got two guys that sometimes struggle with turnovers,
Mhm.
that that also hurts because
Yeah, I
then
mean,
you're stuck in the air with three guys around you, and now you got to try to make an incredible pass.
when Boston won Game 5, I told my sister, I was like, "There's no like if you looked, it was Smart, Derek White, and I can't remember. I think if it was Jaylen Brown or Brogdon, but they combined to go 12 of 18 from three among three players.
Was it not? No, because Al wasn't hot that game.
It was Smart, White, and one other player.
Yes, I know.
But they
I know.
combined to go 12 for 18, and I told him like, look,
Yes,
this ain't happening again. Like they're not making this many threes again.
No.
They struggled a little bit with their shot in Game 6, bailed out by that Derek White crashing the board, and then
but that was also a trash ass play that was drawn too.
yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying, and I
Marcus
think
Smart.
it was also a poor thing, like Joe Mazzulla saying early on in the playoffs that in order for us to win, we have to shoot more than 40 threes.
Mhm.
Like I agree, you have to chuck up threes, but not everyone's Golden State. You know what I mean?
Well, so it's like there's like a stat this playoffs so far, like in the playoffs so far, the team that has made more threes in the game has won like 80% of games. Or something
Right, but
like
at
that.
what point when you're not hitting
Yeah.
threes do you not have another plan in place?
But it's for me, it's the way everybody getting their threes though. See, like when you watch like Denver play, the ball is like ping-ponging
I
around.
It's moving.
Like
Jokic finding someone.
That's
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying with the Celtics. It's straight up one pass from the paint outside of the 3-point line. That dude's taking it.
And that's after you done watch those guys dribble for like a good half the shot clock to just make one move to get downhill. I just think that's just rough, especially when you playing a great defensive team. All we got to do is sit. I already know what you want. You can't get a three off. You're going to drive. We ain't going to swing it.
Exactly.
We're going to drive.
It was so
Why
easy
Brown gets 9 turnovers? Because Brown putting his head down 90% of the time and just barrel his way inside.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I just feel like they got really readable. They got really readable this deep into the playoffs, and I think they have to be more able to adjust. That was my last point there. But going on to the 76ers, we'll talk about the Sixers and the Bucks, two teams that just hired new coaches. I mean, what do we think? I really like the Nick Nurse hiring.
I also
actually
really like the Nick Nurse.
There was a funny meme that Vitor found. Nick Nurse likes to play his players extended minutes. So there was a funny meme of Doc Rivers walking across the court like a snail in there. And what was it? It was Joel after Nick Nurse. Yeah, after Nick Nurse is playing him for 44 minutes a game. But no, I think Nick Nurse again we've seen him coach young guys. We've seen him make extended runs. We've seen him win a title. He's got the experience handling a locker room, handling a superstar. So I think I like it. I think it works.
I think it works, and it also leaves a lot of room for drama because
you leave James alone, right?
Well, even beyond James, I think the because Embiid and Nurse have kind of gone back and forth over the years. As like I feel like because Toronto and Philly matched up a couple times in the playoffs, dating back to 2019.
Yeah,
I think they matched up last year too, right when Siakam elbowed Embiid in the face, right? Yeah. So like they've gone back and forth talking about Embiid's flopping and Embiid talking about Nurses complaining.
Right, but it's always bad blood when you're on other teams.
Yeah.
As soon as you're
supposedly they had a meeting. That was part of the interview process. They met. They talked for like an hour, or like 90 minutes or something like that, and they had a really good conversation about what the plan is and stuff like
what's
that.
What's the direction? Where are we going with this plan?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good step. The only thing I don't love is that I don't think he's much of a player development guy. Nurse.
But do they have many players to develop outside Maxey?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Maxey is probably it might be their second most important player the next season, depending on what Harden decides to do.
Right, but he's already going to be going into year 3, 4.
And I mean, he should be getting more, ball in his hands this year. I think that's going to be the next big thing for him because they have him kind of playing off ball a little too much, in my opinion.
And I think that's what he is, though, personally.
An off ball scorer. He's definitely a secondary guy. Like,
yeah,
not
but you're gonna need him to take the. Yeah, I'm gonna need him to unload the pressure, so you're gonna have to put the ball.
Yeah,
yeah,
a little bit more because he's been making the right plays. As of like, especially when it gets to the playoffs and he's hot, he's making those right plays. I think I have to find a way to make him do that on a consistent basis, not when it's sporadic.
Yeah, and I think his energy is a big boost to when you have guys like Joel and Harden who are, as much as they both are passionate, they don't play with that energy, right? They're a lot more methodical in their games.
Yeah, right.
Slow things down. So I think that energy is it's a really good compliment to them, and they have to use it and use it. It's like a key factor for them to be successful. But yeah, I like the Nurse hire. I'm interested to see what they do though, because the team still has issues. They got a $40 million cap hit in by the name of Tobias Harris, who, as good as he was in the playoffs, $40 million staying still can't.
Ain't nobody taking that contract. So if I'm Nick Nurse,
they got his ass for one. They got his ass next year. Ain't nobody want that.
Yeah, Nick Nurse got to figure out how to get the best out of Tobias Harris. I don't know what he can do. He's helped out some wings in the past. I think Tobias is the key to them getting open.
Okay. I mean, we'll see. It all really starts in Harden, though.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of talk about him going to Houston to lead those guys.
That's terrible.
That's when his career on his way down.
I think he needs to just, if he does that, he's got to back up and be like a 15 assist guy.
I think that's part of the thing. I think part of it's definitely the nightlife and the
strip clubs. But wasn't KPJ so good?
I love KPJ
at playmaking when they gave him that halfway through the season.
Yeah, when he got the reins to be their playmaker, he made them exponentially better. They went
right. So now you got to
20 games.
Take that away from for 25, 30 minutes a night.
But he still isn't a pure playmaker, and I think he would benefit from playing with one, both in terms of his production and his ability to learn.
So if but then you put him as an off-ball 2 guard, and now where's Jalen?
Going to 3, and you've got the worst defensive team you've ever seen.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah,
Jabari Smith's gonna have to play all 48 just to cover for those guys.
All 48, all 5 positions.
Not gonna help.
Sengun at the center spot too. My lord.
I don't even think they want Sengun back. Is he? Yeah, I don't even think they want him on the team.
Can we get him?
Give me him then.
Can we get him? Can we get him in Chicago?
I think I've been seeing some reports that I don't think they want him, bro.
Can we get him in Chicago?
Not a big fan of him.
Bro, he's literally like mini Jokic.
Please. I mean, emphasis on mini. But
yeah, he's both mini in his size and mini in his play. But
I get what you're saying, though.
Like, you get playmaking center. We've seen that it can work, and it can work very, very well if you know how to use it.
Right.
So,
I guess if you want to, so I think we all like that. Let's move on to Milwaukee.
Yes.
Now, personally, I don't know too much. I didn't even see this.
Yeah, scratch what I said on my boy Sengun, though. By the way, scratch what I said. He just came out and say he loved him. Sorry.
Damn.
I was hoping he'd go. But I didn't see anything about this until Vito put it in the chat. So I don't know if you guys want to talk more about it.
Adrian Griffin was a Bulls assistant actually for a long time. He was an assistant, I believe, under Hoiberg, Boylan, and Donovan. Like
no, it was Billy Donovan. It was Billy Donovan.
He's been with us. He's been with us for a while. He's been like
stop at Fred. And
he's been with us for a while. Every time our coaches weren't available and he was the next up, we were pretty successful. We also saw that with Chris Fleming. So I don't know if that's maybe more of a knock to our coaching than it is to our to our assistants. But he's been one of those guys that's kind of been popped up in coaching interviews for the last 5 years now. His name has always come up in these potential candidates or first round interview, and then doesn't make it because there's the bigger name guy, and he's finally getting his shot. Now he's had time to learn under good coaches, bad coaches.
Right, he's gaining both sides of this spectrum.
But I don't know. Milwaukee definitely needed to change the direction. I mean, I know you and I both aren't the biggest fans of Coach Bood.
But if he gets another job, I'm gonna
just to sit there and looking at the.
I will literally stand by the statement that if they don't win that championship, that he's already gone.
Oh yeah.
Like that championship bought him another season and a half, 2 seasons.
Yeah, Monty. I needed them to close that out, bro. Never gonna see it again.
Yeah, I think they needed to change the direction. Again, they don't need much else.
Again, yeah, we said that that was the
players.
best position for any incoming coach.
Yeah,
was Milwaukee with a team that's already such good chemistry, built around one of the best, if not the best player in the game, most dominant player in the game.
Yeah, and I think I think Brooke is the only pending free agent that's like a big rotation player.
Yep.
So
huge piece.
Yeah, I mean, if they lose him, that's gonna be something else. That's gonna be another problem.
Piece.
But
well, a lot of people don't like Brooke either. I've been seeing that all on social media, on Twitter and stuff.
Oh, bro, I would love to have him on
that's
the
a
team.
huge
like
piece.
It's because people don't understand Brooke Lopez's impact, and then a lot of
been
people
on the other side of the wrong Lopez brother.
Hey, he was good this time.
No, he was not.
He was serviceable.
Where?
Stop it,
Robin. I love that man.
No.
Are you kidding?
I loved him.
You Robin? Yeah, he was robbing us. That's what he was doing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Felicio was robbing us.
That's also true.
Yeah, he policed the bag. Yeah.
You're so dumb. Somebody. That's two now. That's two of them. There's a video of when they signed him, when they offered him a contract, and if you look, they literally put the contract down. He's like they were like, that man signed way too quick.
He knew what he did. He knew what he
Yeah,
did.
he knew it already.
But I mean, yeah, Brooke. If they lose Brooke, that's going to be a whole nother thing. But as of right now, that's the best coaching job that was available.
It gives him, in my opinion, it gives him room to grow into becoming
Yeah.
a true head coach, because you're going to, as we saw with Bud, you're going to be saved by the play of Giannis, regardless of if you've coached a good game or not. You've got guys that can bail you out.
And they have the experience to help you out. So
Right.
A guy like Drew.
And he has a great locker room he's walking into. It's not like dramas filling their locker room.
Yeah, they don't got like a
They don't have
DA
room for
sitting
that.
on the other side, upset.
And I think that
Yeah,
comes
he-
like we're saying with guys like Drew, with guys like Giannis and Brooke, like that comes from guys who are at a point in their career where it's you don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we got a chip, but we want more. Like, it's ring chasing time now.
Yep.
But yeah, that's I think, like I said, it's a good hire. It's gonna be one of those where it's like, I don't think they could have made many bad hires, to be honest. Like if they hired Doc, I would have said bad hire.
That would have been a bad hire.
Yeah, that was just going to take a step. To me, that's a step back.
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
Or at the same step.
I would have liked Monty
taking the same
over there,
step.
but I also feel like Monty. I don't know. That wouldn't have. I personally would have liked him, but I don't know if the fit was there.
No.
You just
Like, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
Monty feels right more in what we were talking earlier.
Boston.
In Boston.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Milwaukee's so low key. It's the small market. Like Monty feels like big market. You know what I'm saying? Like Celtics, Lakers. He feels like That's how I feel when I see Monty.
Meanwhile, he's been the coach of the Pelicans and
the Suns, but the Suns are at their peak right now.
Yeah.
Over the last since
Charles
Stoudemire.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like Monty
Charles.
might get the Mark Jackson. Monty might get the Mark Jackson treatment at Phoenix.
Oh wow.
Anytime, so.
Okay.
That's why I feel like that might happen, because it's gonna be like so much great work, and then he just fuck what he did. The coach that had him did it. Hey, Mark Jackson, you built him. Steve Kerr got it done though. We only care about him now. All right, I'm
Literally.
dead.
He really better hope that like DA don't win like a Finals MVP. That'll make him look bad,
bro. That would be terrible.
That would make him look bad.
No, bad dash.
But let's move on to another one that was popped up this morning as well. Was Bob Myers stepping down as Warriors GM
and president.
President?
Yeah, he's also their president of basketball operations.
That's huge.
Yeah,
because I know we talked about it about a month ago about what the Warriors, when they lost to the Lakers, what their plans were. It doesn't feel like pushing the first piece.
It does feel cryptic. Yeah,
but it does kind of feel like it doesn't feel like the snowball's been pushed down the hill yet. But it feels like
somebody's approaching
the top of that hill. You know what I mean?
Especially because like he's been the reason that they've been shelling out the money,
Right. He don't care about the
spending
tax. Yeah.
right. It's been him. He's the reason they're breaking luxury
It
tax records
feels like
every year.
it's the end
Yeah.
almost.
It feels like they're gonna have somebody who wants to come in and clean things up financially,
Yes.
which
If you
does
do
not
that,
bode well for winning a
that
championship.
sounds like keeping Steph in one other
No.
person. And I mean, this
That's
could
exactly what that sounds like to me.
right. Yeah.
You're gonna keep one person. I think it's over, Joe, because
Okay.
somebody put it together like that for you, willing to spend the money for you. He found a way to grab KD.
Right.
He found other little
Exactly.
ways to make that team come back each and every time stronger and stronger. To me, I feel like money ain't a thing if we win it, because you're just bringing more money back in once you win it.
Right.
I just feel like it's starting to be the end of an era. I think this is both very bad for Draymond Green in a sense.
That's what I was going to make that point.
Mm-hmm.
This both very bad for Draymond Green in a sense. Somebody who's been voiced his concerns and even talked about this like going on recently. I think it's not gonna look good for him. I don't even think it look that good for Clay either. I think
agree.
that I think they're gonna try to build mostly around stuff, and I also try to clean up the little financial numbers that's been like messed up over the years, just from him trying to help them win.
Yeah.
I also think though, if you get rid of Clay and Dre, I think you're risking losing Steph.
I don't
Because as much as I think,
but where does he go?
As much as I think he's like a franchise like man and would stay with them his whole career, if they're gonna dump his two running mates that have been through it with him,
I would see him retiring before I see him going somewhere else.
You think he'd just retire to be like, yeah, if they
where does he go?
Literally anywhere that man can slot in.
Right, but that's not Steph though.
He goes home.
Yeah,
goes home.
No. I just I get what you're saying, but I feel like he would rather just retire, like step away.
Like, are you really gonna pick Jordan Poole over Steph, Clay, and Dre? Is that the direction? Because if that's the direction, oh my lord.
And this is all hypothetical. Yeah, we don't know, but
it's just what it seems like based on everything we've been hearing over the last month or so.
I feel like you can't do that, bro.
No, I agree.
And then
I definitely think they still have
either way you go, you can lose something out of this. You can lose Clay, you can lose Dre, you can lose Poole.
I mean, Wiggins he's still got that max contract. So,
and he was pretty damn good in the playoffs. He could have shot the three a little better, but
it's gonna be.
Cryptic was a good word.
Yeah, it feels like
eerie.
It's got that it's like
this has happened, but it feels like some larger is.
Yeah, it's like when you're outside at night and you hear something rustle in the bushes, and you're like, might have been.
Oh, that's just Bob Myers stepping down.
It could be wind. It could be wind. It could be.
And then you go into the bush and you're like, oh my God, they're blowing it up.
Yep. So you never know. You don't know what it's gonna be. You just hear it and you're like, oh.
Oh, Bob Myers stepped down.
It's just over there. You got to keep your eye out. You got to keep turning back every.
Steph's the bull.
You got to keep turning your head every 2 minutes to be like, nothing coming, right?
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page there for sure.
Oh shit.
It definitely feels White Sox. It definitely feels yeah, I really like the way you worded that. Eerie, cryptic, something like that.
It feels like it's spelling the beginning of the end.
Yes. But let's go on. I had something hypothetical to just with the draft arising and the massive hype surrounding Wemby, Victor Wembanyama. Biggest, I think I would agree that he's probably the biggest name, most hyped since LeBron.
Oh, 100%.
I would think. Yeah. I think obviously LeBron was
one
incredible. Here. Correct, but definitely I think it's been almost a year of just everybody talking about him.
Literally, as soon as the last draft concluded, it was like, okay, who's going to be drafting Wemby next year?
So I was going to pose. I mean, I didn't really have anyone, but are there some players we can just kind of spew some names that you would get rid of?
One for one?
Well, I'm just saying, like, if there was a package. Like, I'll just do the first one. If you're the Philadelphia 76ers, would you be looking to maybe get Wembayama for like a Joel Embiid package?
Oh no.
Okay.
Not okay, not that level. Okay. I don't think he's that he don't give up something for that type of level. No.
What if Harden walks? And then you're stuck because you're still gonna be stuck in cap hell with Embiid.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then you just got two big motherfuckers inside. And you just ain't got nowhere to go.
You'd be trading Joel for Wemby.
Yeah, I can't do that, dog.
And Wemby don't play inside like that. Like that's another thing. He compliments other
Wemby
bigs.
ain't banging like Joel though. That's my thing.
Right, but that's the problem I have with that is that's not like modern day basketball anymore. Like it wins you MVPs, but it doesn't win you
playoff games and series.
Yeah. Skill, making shots. Like Jimmy's not willing the heat by banging on the boards and banging people down low. He's making
he's banging everywhere else though.
Yeah, he's making tough shots and getting in people's grill defensively and but I don't know. Like or I'm just gonna keep spewing bigs, but like Anthony Davis.
I think if you're the Lakers, I think
hell yeah.
I think you take that.
Seriously?
I think so. You already
I'll
saw
explain
that.
to you why. If LeBron don't retire, why you get a big that can shoot the three better than AD, but also can block shots like AD.
Yeah, but to go to your point, Wemby can't play defense like AD.
I just need him to block shots.
He's also going to be earning what? Less than a full quarter of what AD makes.
Yeah.
So
and that's a lot of where I pose the question is it worth restarting restarting your timeline, refreshing your timeline is probably a better word to say. You clear a lot of your books, you know. I mean, like someone like a Jason Tatum, would you trade a Tatum to get Wembyama? That's like a similar probably position.
Brown.
Okay. I think anyone would. Okay. The question I was looking for Tatum because he's a little more of their number one.
I would trade a Dame for Wembyama.
Okay. I agree with that one.
Too bad they don't need him.
I agree with that. Although I feel like the two of them together would be nuts.
Facts.
Dude, you know who Wemby would be pretty nuts next to? Like a Trae Young.
I was thinking that.
Oh
yeah.
Hey,
somebody
I would trade a
DeJounte
Murray
defensive flaws.
Just
hey, now would you keep who would you trade? DeJounte Murray?
I would make a package. DeJounte, John Collins. You probably have to give up either. I would do Herter because I feel like DeAndre Hunter's been. Oh, who's the one?
You did it again.
Thank you.
Did it again.
Bogdanovich.
Well, you got to remember the salary.
I was thinking, so DeAndre Hunter is the one they kept, right?
Hunter they kept, and
which he played crazy.
Yeah, and he's got an extension kicking in this year.
He played crazy,
which is why I had posed that whole trade in the first place.
He played crazy. He was really good against
the Ayton trade.
The what trade?
The Ayton trade.
Oh yeah,
I posed whatever.
That's right. That's right. That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want Bogdanovich, bro.
Bogdanovich, he's a hooper.
Yeah. What about that one's pretty dumb. I was gonna say Giannis. I don't think anyone would do that. Would you do that?
No, not right now. If you,
I trade that motherfucker for Rudy though.
Okay.
Okay, well that's not. You get to trade trash for treasure now.
Yeah.
You walk into the.
So what about
one of those trading a penny into a Lamborghini YouTube videos?
What about Steph?
No, that's like trading LeBron for fucking a bag of nickels. No.
Would you trade LeBron?
At this point?
Not with their current roster makeup.
Maybe.
But I could
see one of his career. Maybe. Maybe. Not anything prior to this point.
If you're Miami, are you trading Jimmy Butler?
No.
Yeah. Miami's such an anomaly. It's actually
you're happily trading Bam.
Oh God, yeah. But I'm saying like they're such an anomaly in a sense that they're just like the star power just doesn't need to be there. It's so fun.
I need to go work out in Miami. So I get me a contract. All these undrafted guys.
What you're getting in Miami is what's on the beach.
Coke and Latinos.
Yeah. What's on the beach. That's what you get. That's why they play so well down there. They're always happy.
No state income tax.
They're always happy.
You got Puerto Ricans and Cubanas and Colombians.
Careful now. All right, one more each.
SGA.
Ooh, that's so good because the timelines are so I would say no
I
though.
also would say no.
The only thing I have with I was trying to think of like guys who like are potentially injury prone because like that's the biggest problem with like Joel or AD. Like I'll stick by the fact AD's top 5 in my opinion when he's fully healthy. I think
Zach
he's dominant.
LaVine.
I think he's dominant. Yes.
Yeah. Although, please, if you're trading Zach, you got to trade the bar. Fuck that guy.
But yeah, I just feel like there's the biggest question is Wemby's health.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously in his frame.
I need him to eat a couple cheeseburgers, bro. Come on down here with me, bro.
What about
that man will have to be on like 4 steaks and 17 potatoes a day?
What about if you're Dallas and you can pair Kyrie with Wemby?
Oh, no.
I don't think you. No.
I thought you were going to talk about sign and trade Kyrie for Wemby.
Well, no, Luka's the far bigger, better player.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
That's the point. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why
y'all keep going to the lesser superstar here.
You're not trading Luka for an unproven.
I'm talking
regardless of
De'Aaron Fox.
Ooh,
yes.
In a vacuum,
yes.
In a vacuum, yes.
Yes.
But in reality, with the roster makeup, no.
Wemby
Julius Randle.
Yes.
God, yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. Bro, Jalen Brunson and Wemby. Yo. That's kind of nutty.
People are gonna be like, but Julius Randle's rebounding. That's hurts there, man.
That's kind of nutty. He's got to do something. All right. MLB. We're done. No more Wemby talk. We just got
Anthony Edwards out there, Joe.
Oh. Again, not with the current roster makeup.
It's tough though because it's fun to actually throw guards out there though because
you think about pairing him with a guard too,
right? Like, but yet he is a guard basically with his skill set.
Yeah, he's a big guard.
What about Paul George? Sorry, I had one more that just came up. Paul George.
Get rid of him.
Yes.
Ben. Hey, I don't care if he's an OKC at the end of his Pacers career. Paul George for Wemby all day. Sorry, but it's true. But yeah, let's go. Yes too. Let's go to MLB. I just wanted to talk about quickly. I do have the Would You Rather, which is going to be fun. I think it'll be fun. Vitor is, on the other hand, he's picking this player every time, but
not every time, but most times.
So I just wanted to do a quick one of we're about 2 months into the season now. They should be hovering around 50, 60 games, just about.
Yep.
And so we all made our picks preseason on who we thought had a chance at the title. I know we went with a lot of Padres and Astros answers, which when you look at it, Padres are in 4th place, 8 games back of the Dodgers. And when you look at it, the Astros have made a pretty miraculous run over the last month. They were sitting in 4th, but that division's tight, the AL West. But they're still 3 back of the red hot Rangers. The Jacob deGrom-less Rangers, who can never seem to stay healthy. But 2 months in, who do we feel at this point has a better, like, who has our opinions changed? You know, who you got? Who do you think is like a front runner for the title, basically?
I feel like mine's a cop-out, though.
Tampa?
Yeah.
That's fair.
They've been the best team.
They're playing the best baseball, man, right now, to me.
No,
Top to bottom.
I agree. Their bullpen's insane. Their starting pitching's pretty solid.
Well,
they have one of the deadliest lineups, and if not the deadliest lineup.
I mean, I'd say their reserve, their bullpen is, if anything,
that's bad.
I'd say if anything, the bullpen is their worry. A lot of the guys have been playing a lot better than I think a lot of the expected numbers show.
I agree.
But hey, I mean, if they can keep it up, expected numbers don't mean jack shit if you can keep it up and outperform them.
Agreed.
So,
it's funny though how they're the hottest team, the best team in baseball, and they're only 4 games up on.
Yeah, I mean that's just. I mean, they're 6-4 in their last 10. Like, it's not like they're doing what they were doing early on when they were, was it third? They started with 13-0, 12-0.
I think they were 13.
And they were at one point. I swear they were like 21-3 or 20 something like that.
21-4.
Yeah, like and so they've already started to get back to the mean a little bit
again, but that's because they've started playing the division.
Yeah,
the division games have been starting the last couple weeks. That's a fair answer though, and I think that is a fair answer because I don't think we would have said the Rays. I don't think any of us said the Rays preseason. So that's definitely while it's a cop out, it is definitely an answer. Who are you thinking?
I like the Braves a lot.
Lame.
It's also a little bit of a cop out.
That would have been my answer.
But I think
that's okay. I can make an argument for another team.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of teams. Offensively, they're insane, top to bottom. Like we talked about it on Sunday when they were running it up on the Phillies. That there's no one in that lineup that steps up and you go, fuck, runs over. Like it's that like the Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Braves.
And it's funny too because Michael Harris hasn't really gotten his feet set comparative to how he last year. He batted 297 and won Rookie of the Year. This year he's batting like 220.
Yeah,
and Ozzy's been only batting like 240.
Yeah,
so they've got some guys who have been slumping and yet
continue to. And it's like when they were really hot hitting righties early on in the season, they've been hot hitting righties all season, but like they were extremely hot early. They've pulled back a little bit closer to average, but their numbers against lefties have kind of gone crazy recently.
They also lead all of baseball in first innings. They think they average like 0.9, 0.95, somewhere in that range.
When you got your franchise record leadoff home runs guy batting first, it's gonna help.
Hey, whoa. Don't spoil my segment.
But yeah, I think they have a very complete roster top to bottom, and I could see them making a serious run.
Okay. So
who you got, C's?
I want you to pick an AL team after, and Isaac, I want you to pick an NL team after. I'm gonna go with Texas Rangers.
I knew it.
Yeah, well, you took my team. I was gonna go Braves. I'm going Rangers. I think. I mean, first off, they in my opinion made the best move of the offseason, which was Nathan Eovaldi.
Oh, dude, he's been pitching incredibly.
I think
especially away from home.
You go Eovaldi, you got John Gray, DeGrom will be back. You've got a fairly solid 1-2-3 punch. But the lineup for me is what I think is insane, especially when they've got guys that don't even start every day who would be starting on other teams.
Yeah.
Like Janikowski doesn't start all the time.
Travis Jankowski?
Jonah Heim doesn't start every game, and he had a pretty solid last week or so. Me and you were talking about Josh Jung, who's been, I think, just had a hit today again. So he's in his 13th or 14th.
There was 3 or 4 when we checked.
Yeah, that's right, and a home run. But then you're speared by Marcus Semien, Corey Seager's back from injury, Adolis Garcia, big power, Nathaniel Lowe, left-sided bat. Yeah, I like them. And again, they're in a tough division. You got to go through Houston. You got to go through the Angels. You got to go through the Seattle Mariners. So that's a tough division, and they're leading it right now. Again, we're only 50-some games in, but yeah, I think the Rangers got a good shot to at least, again, if you can make the playoffs, you have a chance for the World Series. That's the biggest thing I think you look at in baseball is just, can I get in? Because I think if you look at the best 1-2 punch in baseball, I don't see why you can't take DeGrom and Eovaldi. Eovaldi's already got a World Series ring and pitched a ton of innings for Boston in 2018. So he's got experience. DeGrom's obviously been the best pitcher in baseball for a few years now. If he could just friggin' stay healthy, it'd be great.
Yeah, and I mean when Martin Perez is on,
he's
too
decent.
When he's on,
he's really good. But he can be shaky.
Really inconsistent.
He can be shaky. But yeah, when he's on, he is very good. I do got a sleeper, but I'm gonna let y'all go. Isaac, give me an NL. Don't take
NL?
Don't take it. I've got a good
I'm going with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Nice. That's a good pick. They've been so good. Their lineup is really good.
Closing on them.
And that's cute. That's cute.
Hey, we were down at the bottom. Cute. We were down at the bottom a few weeks ago.
But
so
just got guys like Christian Walker, Ketel Marte all starting up.
He's very good.
And then Lourdes Gurriel right now is batting up like over 300 for them right now.
Yes.
And then you add the pitching like Zach Gallen along the way. I'm loving like the way the D-backs are looking at right now to start this season.
I agree. And they've got Corbin Carroll as well. I'm pretty sure he's a rookie. He's a pretty solid. Or maybe I'm tripping. I can't even remember. I might be thinking of somebody else. But yeah,
Corbin Carroll.
But I don't remember if he's a rookie or not. Is he? I feel like he is. I feel like he was just drafted.
I think
recently.
he is.
Oh my God, this is so embarrassing.
What happened to Corbin Carroll?
I should have known.
No, this is second year.
Yes.
Second year.
Okay. That makes more sense. I was like, I feel like I don't remember him being a rookie.
I can't even bet on my guy playing.
Oh man. All right, this one's on you though. You need an AL team.
I feel like mine's a little bit of a cop out, but I don't think they can ever be counted out until they're out of the playoffs.
No, bro. We said, has anything changed?
This hasn't changed, and as soon as Altuve came back, they've been scary. Like,
oh my, you're going Houston.
Oh yeah, bro.
I have a problem over.
They
I report. I have a problem.
They slumped hard there for like a couple weeks, and then Altuve came back as they started righting the ship, and it's just been.
I have a few
They did
problems.
get to play the A's, which was nice for them.
Yeah.
The pitching has been, I think, below expectation.
Yeah.
Especially some of their aces that you'd consider.
Well, and
yeah,
here's where I'll go.
The iJury report.
Yes. Never mess around with the iJury report. This is where I'll go right here.
Oof.
Luis Garcia, Tommy John out for the season. Lance can never seem to pitch more than one game in a row. McCullers
no longer throwing off a mound.
And Urquidy also had a shoulder injury.
Yeah, and that's
but
also
he's coming back-ish. Another starter, bullpen. Another starter.
Michael Brantley.
So he hasn't even played it. He signed a 1 year in the offseason.
I did not know he was still
he won
playing.
the World Series with them. He was in.
I know. Yeah, I didn't know he was still here.
They signed a 1 year, like 10 to 11 to $12 million contract. But he hasn't played. Oh man.
Which I mean, is that not even scarier? If they
that's their everyday leadoff batter.
Yeah, but I'm saying all of this, like they've got this whole
right, and that's
what injuries, and they're still
right. But two or three of those pitchers aren't coming back for the season.
But
so the thing for me is their freaking bullpen is ridiculous.
Yeah,
they've got three guys with like 1.5 sub ERAs like that, and I don't know. They are scary. I just don't like picking them. Okay, so let me go to my other pick here. So I went Rangers. I was gonna go. I'm torn between two teams.
Ooh, DOS.
You gonna go with a cop out answer?
It's Mets and Phillies.
Oh, okay. No cop out answer.
No,
I was thinking Phillies. I was thinking Phillies.
Why?
Yeah, but then I was like, I feel like the Diamondbacks are slept on, and they have a good record.
I was thinking Mets because they just. I don't understand why they're so bad.
You also talked about this on Sunday.
I don't understand why they're so bad.
They have such a good roster.
Like their roster, their starting pitching, their bullpen's pretty
They just
solid.
suck on the road.
They do suck on the road.
They also can't hit lefties.
But they just can't. Yeah, they can't hit lefties. But you've got guys that like outside of Nimmo, like no one else is hitting near 300. Jeff McNeil, I think, is actually close.
Yeah,
but,
he's a tough at bat,
dude. It doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna go with regression to the mean, and they're gonna end up finishing in second place
behind
Atlanta, which I believe that was my pick anyways. But I agree with you. I watched out for the Phillies too.
I feel like you were high on the Phillies preseason.
No, I said y'all said Mets. I think you and Danny said Mets. I think Isaac said Braves.
Yeah,
I said Braves as well, but I said watch out for the Phillies because Bryce Harper could come back.
Yeah.
But he came back a lot earlier because he's not playing the position until post All-Star break. He's not playing the field until post All-Star break. Which since he came back, he's batting like 320 and is typical Bryce Harper.
If he was Harper. If he could hit lefties, oh man.
Yeah, he's
hitting like 130 against lefties. You're looking at like a 300 average.
But I'll go Mets. I think the Mets still have a decent chance.
I mean, I like
the team
to get right
to start. Surprises though, the freaking Marlins are decent.
Well, I feel like
the Diamondbacks and the Giants are
the narrative around the Marlins has been that they've been so putrid offensively all season.
Yeah. Well, the problem is again, Jorge Soler doesn't hit too much for average.
Yeah.
Chisholm has been terribly bad, and I think he's hurt right now.
It's that cover curse.
Oh yeah, that's right. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luis Ariz is an MVP candidate, but I don't know. Yeah,
he went up to bat.
They're interesting.
And I was looking, you know, that on ESPN they have like zones, the hot zones and cold zones. Bro, his
Everything was red.
His bluest zone was pink.
Yeah, there was no cold zone.
It was incredible.
But let's go to my last segment. Our last segment for the night is going to do a would you rather, and this is going to be Mr. Red Hot himself, Ronald Acuna Jr. Actually, ironically, off the back of an 0 for 4 night yesterday,
which makes sense. It's baseball. The guy goes 4 for 5 one day. He's going to go 4 the next.
This is going to be quite a star-studded would you rather, because with the current form of Acuna, I had to bring out some decent heat. So we got some decent heat in there. I'm going to start off interesting, because this for me is interesting in a sense that this feels like an Acuna breakout. Like, yes, pre-injury, he was starting to get there. Last year, obviously, we talk about it with sports all the time. When you don't have an off season to get better, and your off season is rehab, that season is usually not as good as what you should be, which we're seeing now. He had a season to actually get better at his game, and these stats are through the roof. But I'm going to start off with, would you rather, Ronald Acuna Jr. edition. Would you rather have Acuna or Julio Rodriguez?
I'm taking Acuna.
Julio!
Yep, but that's what I'm saying. Julio last year, though.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen the potential is the same
I'm a
as
Mariners
where
fan,
Acuna's
so
at
I'm
right
Julio.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's biased.
Okay.
I mean, I'm also slightly biased. I love Acuna. He's one of my favorite players in the league. So
let's go to, would you rather have Acuna or Juan Soto?
Acuna.
I
think Soto's kind of taken a step back last year or so from where he was at, which obviously when you're that incredible, it's hard to keep it up. But I just think his on
base is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he's actually has picked it up, because he was batting
he was batting
200 and he's pushing 250 now.
Yeah, he's getting back up.
His second month, I think once it warms up, he'll be back to where he was.
He was also having a lot of struggle seeing the ball in the field late last year.
I got a fun one. Oh. Byron Buxton. That's a good pick, because I think a lot of people forget just how freaking good he is on defense. He's the best defensive center fielder in baseball, but his hamstrings don't let him play center field anymore. So, because that boy will lay out and rob 2 home runs and then pull some shit in the next play. So, but I think Bucky's a tough shot. I think a lot of people forget about him.
I think Minnesota's a place where you go to die as a baseball
Carlos Correa alone. Hey, Luis Ariz flourished. But yeah, Acuna or Bucky?
Acuna.
I think you are forgetting how good he is defensively. Go look up some highlights.
I'm not forgetting, but there's
I don't even think you know.
I also know that Acuna defensively is so.
Bucky won me a parlay last year.
I think Buxton is very underrated. But let's get into some bigger names here.
Okay.
We're gonna go with Acuna Jr. or Mookie Betts.
Oh. If there's any player that strikes fear into me when they step up in the play,
bro is clutch as hell.
Hey, let me get Big Mook, dog. I need Big Mook.
I think I'll take Mookie.
I agree.
I gotta take Big Mook.
Like that's a player who, like, when I'm watching those Giants Dodgers games and he steps up, I'm just like, you know, that feeling.
Screw Freddie.
You know that feeling like deep in your gut where it's just like, oh no.
They done had Trey Turner and Corey Seager. He said Mookie Betts.
Bro, it's terrifying.
Okay, so you both went Mook? I think that's the right answer. I think he also offers a lot of versatility on defense, being able to not just be an outfielder, but also step in and play second, short. I think he's even played some snaps some pitches at third, some innings at third. But let's go to that was a good one, huh? Let's go to, would you rather have Acuna or Bryce Harper?
That's another player I really, really like.
No, I used to hate Bryce, but man,
People hate him for his attitude, but his
Which is
I used
what?
to hate Bryce. But
it's
This
just
is
the
so
way he
stupid.
is, yeah.
But when he got to Philly, it was just some man. it was
He
different.
literally has not changed since he got into the league.
Yeah,
He's
I
as
know,
cocky and
it's-
confident
yeah.
as he's been since he came into the league at
You
19.
remember when he fought Hunter Strickland?
Bro, he's a dog.
Them two were fucking
Bryce is a
swinging
dog.
like that. Shoot,
That's tough.
that one
Harper.
is tough.
I was trying to get him now
I'm going
before he
Harper.
turns into a first baseman.
DH Harper.
Yeah, I got Harper before he fall off. Harper.
I'm probably taking Bryce, but this one's really close. I'm letting the
Longevity
that's what
too?
I'm letting. That's why I'm taking
Consistency?
Bryce right now. It's just because he's done it.
That's
for a
why I
longer
wanted to
period
throw
of
the
time.
Julio one in there because Julio did what Acuna is doing this year, last year, I feel like.
No, he's not.
And he's a rookie. He did it earlier. He's bouncing back a little bit too now, finally. He did have a really poor month and a half. to
That's
start.
Jordan Haitema curse.
Yeah. I think I got 3 more. So let's go with Acuna or Yordan Alvarez. Now, don't forget, Yordan is technically a left fielder, but he does do a lot of DHing.
A lot is an
Hey, your
understatement.
Don is a
They have a lot of outfielders.
Yeah.
When you have 2 guys that are fairly stapled in Myers.
I'm
Tucker.
gonna take Acuna on this one
Wow.
for the ability to get on base and make things happen. Now pair them two together, and you have one of the scariest
I think that's the wrong
1-3,
choice.
1-4s you'll see. But I like his ability to just get on base, get a steal, get a runner into scoring position right up the top of the first.
There was a
pile outs.
stat I saw. I was watching. I'll let Isaac go first.
I was gonna take the person. If I was a baseball, I wouldn't want to be a baseball. I'm taking Yordan Alvarez.
You would, hey,
There was a stat I was watching, and I forget, it was over the weekend. I can't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. I was watching the Astros play, and they threw 2 stats up there that it was obviously an advanced metric, classic advanced metric, but it was players that contribute most to their team having a chance to win a championship or something like that.
no, it's like
And
based on like their.
It was similar to like a WAR
Yeah.
type of deal, type of stat, and he was like shattering the next closest. Ronald was at 5th, but Yordan was like 3.1, and Ronald was like 2. But I guess like when the stat had to do a lot with like timely hitting with runners on base, it was like big hits was one of the things they did. So like when their team is like 2 outs and 2nd and 3rd, and you're down by a run, you want Yordan at the plate because he's gonna get you he's gonna get that knock. But I think that one's a little closer than the Harper, and I think Harper's pretty. Just because Yordan does struggle on defense.
That's what I was gonna say. I think he's
That
an
hurts
incredible hitter and one of the best power hitters in the league right now. But I just like what you can get from Acuna, both in terms of like he's got
And
the
he steals
power.
bases more.
Yeah, well, he just got picked off.
He got thrown
As
out
we
last
speak.
night too.
As we
Or
speak.
2 nights ago. So let's go to last 2: Ronald Acuna or Aaron Judge.
Ronald Acuña.
That was too fast.
Yeah. I'm taking Acuna, but
Not
I
a
agree
big
that was
Judge
too
guy.
fast.
Both of you.
Yeah,
Wow.
Judge.
Is it the playoff thing?
It's the playoff
Yes,
thing. It's
for
the,
me.
it's the health
for me.
thing. It's the.
Acuña's never sniffed the playoffs.
That's because he blew his knee out.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I can't. Probably talk to his knees, not me. Okay,
He'll be there this year. Hopefully.
I just
Next this year.
it might change. Yeah, it could change.
I was gonna say next time, and I switched to this year.
Next this year.
He's up next.
Wow, both of y'all.
I think so.
That's crazy.
Although Judge's outfield arm is a big plus as well.
That's crazy to me.
But I don't know.
I can't take the dude that's batting 200 in the postseason. I just can't. Just can't. He plays.
I mean,
too well
I'll
through
take it
regular
if he
season.
gets me there every year. That's what
I
I'll
just
say.
can't. I need the homers to come with him to the postseason. That's the only thing where.
All right, last name, GOAT himself, Acuna or Mike Trout.
Trout.
That's easy. It's Trout.
Okay, good.
I'm saying-
Good boys.
Yeah. No,
Good lads.
I'm biased, but I'm not crazy.
Good good lads.
If Trout wasn't
Interesting. I
injury
should've
prone,
put him
he'd
later in the
be
list then.
he'd be the GOAT. But he
I mean, he hit 40 home runs
Yeah.
last year and he missed 50 games.
Yep.
And if he stays healthy this year, I think he can still push for an MVP because he's been pretty solid.
I bet his teammate does it on both sides to make it harder for him.
That's not fair. You either win one or the other. You can't win both.
Well, you can't get MVP and Cy Young?
No, that would be unprecedented. All right, well, that's all I've got, to be honest.
Yeah,
I was trying to think of other names. I didn't want to throw some other guys I had were more or less like, I don't know. I had Kyle Tucker in there, who I think is incredible. Personally, he's one of my favorite players. I think Kyle Tucker is just
he has a chance to be one of my favorite players.
old school dog. No
He
gloves.
has the chance.
He wants to hit a home run.
Yeah.
But just the batting gloves, just no emotion.
Or one straight shot and one parlay. So
What's the other? Man, I had one more. I think Brian
about
Reynolds is a
Freddie
good
Freeman?
shout. I was trying to stick to outfielders. Was kind of the only thing.
yeah, because then you start talking about like the defensive versatility of certain positions
Yeah.
where like you have a way.
That's why
more
I
valuable
almost
shortstop.
didn't use Mookie, but Mookie spends the vast majority of his time playing in the outfield.
Yeah.
The problem is the Dodgers right now this season are just lacking infield. They have too many infield injuries.
Mhm.
But yeah. I don't know. I think I was trying to think of some other guys, but I didn't want to go too young. I didn't want to go too old because then you can pull that into the equation. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. That's gonna wrap it up.
A little shorter episode today.
I mean, there's not a ton going on.
We're
We're gonna have to start shifting gears, I think, going into next week and into the weeks after that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll have another 2.5 weeks, I think,
The playoffs.
of playoffs,
Well,
depending on
how
if
quick.
the Nuggets fulfill my 5-game prophecy.
A 5-game prophecy would put him at less than
Let's
2
go
weeks.
Heat.
The 5-game Nugget prophecy.
Heat
It feels right. I feel like
Six-piece Nuggets,
it feels
baby.
right. He didn't win the MVP, so just give him. I mean, that's like what Mike did. It would have just been better if he was.
No, you know what
facing the wall.
triumphs it? If a Jimmy Butler ring is in the future.
That is arguable. That's on par with Dirk's ring, hands down. That might be better
Dude,
than
it
Dirk's
might be
ring.
better because I think Dirk's cast.
Well,
Dirk's cast.
yeah, but
way better.
the Heat was way better, in my opinion. That Heat team was
But
way
it was
better.
their first year together.
Don't matter, bro.
It does matter.
It don't matter. No, it does
It
not.
clearly matters.
No, it does not.
It very clearly mattered.
It was the
Look at-
first year with KD, Clay, and Steph.
Yeah,
And
but that's
KD
one
said-
guy joining.
KD just stepped in and said, "I'll be taking these shots now." But well, we'll start shifting gears soon. Again, we're going to cover the rest of these NBA finals because I think they have a potential to be spicy, like we said earlier. But yeah, baseball's coming in full swing. 60 games in. Almost we are about a third of the way into the season. Actually,
Fun to watch again. Let's go.
get out of here. Y'all just hit a lot of home runs.
Not even. Oh wait, we're losing.
And then obviously we've got
Just
the NFL will be starting up soon. There's really not too much
Yeah.
on because we've got Stanley Cup coming up.
It's okay.
I was
which is
actually we
starting
could talk
now.
about next week. We should talk about the best free agents available.
I
There's a lot
agree.
of guys left.
Are we talking football?
Yeah,
And then, I mean, we could have actually touched on DeAndre Hopkins, which was pretty big news.
Yeah.
They chose to just get rid of him, which is
But
impressive.
I guess
but
they just couldn't find a trade partner.
Yeah.
But
and they,
had to release.
I don't know, bro, but I feel like he was still 2 years under contract?
I believe so.
Which, I mean, yeah, you're burning this year, but next year you'd still get him the year after with a Kyler and better rookies. I don't know. It was a strange. We'll talk about that coming up next week.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll get a
especially once
list
he
of
signed somewhere.
we'll get a list of some stuff together for NFL. But yeah, that's it. Just the three of us today. Danny was taking a little break again. He's usually working behind the scenes, doing all that good stuff for us. We really appreciate you guys sticking with us, man. Again, 51 episodes. We did hit a milestone, so here's to another 50.
Well, and technically the next one's a milestone too, because that's a year's worth.
What's it? Oh, 52
52
weeks technically, yeah. A little over in time frame, but 52
We
weeks.
skipped some weeks.
technically.
We've done 2 in a week for that short stretch where we're splitting them up.
There was two when everything was on.
When everything was on, we couldn't
Yeah.
put it all in one file.
It was
because would take
2.5
too long.
hour episodes. But yeah, we'll get some stuff posted and clipped up for this week. Get some more content. Again, we were running a little thin on content that we didn't since we didn't record last week, but we're back better than ever, refreshed. We all had the extra weekend, or well, some of us had the extra day off of the weekend.
Some of us had 1 day off. that
Yeah,
weekend.
follow us TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, like the videos, do all that jazz. comments so we check comments. Not that a lot of people be leaving them, but we check comments to see if we can get some stuff we could talk about.
Some ideas.
Yeah, let's see.
Some TikTok hate.
I think it'd be cool to get
We
another
love
guest
it.
on here. I think a guest again.
Yeah.
I would like to see a
I
guest.
got like 3 or 4 coworkers who want to get on here.
I
and
also
talk
had a
sports
few
with us.
people that I had talked to, and I said that I'd get on. I have the one for baseball, so maybe we'll see if we can get some guests on here coming up. Hopefully we get the 4 of us back next week. Yeah, get right back where we left off, man. So thank you guys so much. It's been the We Got Action podcast, episode 51. Much love. Peace out.
Later.
Peace.